Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome to Growth Habits with Ngozi. I am your personal guide on this journey of growth. Yes, we've been on this journey for a while. Yes, and we will continue on this journey. We are not slowing down anytime soon because the journey is interesting. It really is. Because the journey is interesting. All right. So I just had to check to make sure that the volume is okay. Okay, so thank you for joining me once again on Growth Habits with Ngozi. Like I said, and I will always say, I am your personal guide on the journey of growth. Um, and I mean every word of it. It's not just a slogan. It's really not just a slogan. Um, It might seem, sometimes sure we've heard it several and it's like, she's just saying it. But it is more than a slogan. It is more than a slogan. I do go on the journey with you because severally, as I do this talk, as I research some of the things that I want to speak on, and as I actually speak on them, every week here, I learn a lot. It's sometimes it's almost like this aha moment with some of the things that I say here, some of the things that we're looking at, because at times I wonder how this thing that I just said, where did it come from? Yes, I have some of the experience. I've lived some of the things that I speak about, but many a times as I'm speaking or as I'm researching, I'm like, oh, so I also have my own aha moment. So I truly go on this journey with you. I don't just lead you on the journey. I actually truly go on the journey with you, the journey to discover, the journey to grow, the journey to learn. I truly go on this journey with you. So today is session 86 of Growth Habits, and we are talking about the role of leadership in change management. We've been discussing change management essentials. I think this is about the fourth session, I believe, change management essentials. And we felt that as we are preparing for 2025, as we are getting ready for the new year, there is a need for us to know and to prepare for change because change will definitely happen. We just don't know when, we don't know how, we don't know the magnitude, but change will definitely happen. And you can prepare for change. You can plan for change. You can institute change, actually. So, but it is best to be ready for change before it happens so that you're not taken completely by surprise. So that's what we've been discussing for the past three sessions. And today we want to look at the role of leadership. Now, we might say, why are we looking at the role of leadership? What is the purpose of that? Generally, when change is happening or when you're preparing for change, when you understand the real role of those who are ahead, it helps you navigate better because sometimes we have some expectations of the leadership or the people who are leading us or the people who are like supervising us or something. And those expectations are not based on reality. And it causes us to lose direction a little bit. It causes us to lose traction in whatever it is we're doing. Because, of course, we're expecting something and it doesn't happen. So it's essential for us, even as we study what is change management, as we look at the process itself, as we look at how we navigate through change, we also have to understand and know what to expect from anyone that might be, leading us through this process of change. It's not every change process that you're all by yourself. Like the personal change process is not always. Some are organizational change, and you need to understand the role that the leadership of that organization plays in the process to help you navigate the process better. So let me do a recap as we always do. Please, as you join me, introduce yourself, say hello, do something. For those that will watch the replay also, please go ahead, introduce yourself, say hi, tell me where you're joining me from, and please share this live session. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your colleagues, share it with everybody. Don't forget to share, because, as we are sharing, as we're learning together, let others also be part of what we are doing. Also, let me say this. I believe that as you join this live, you should see the link to register for the Emergent Leadership Bootcamp coming up. I made it free. Yeah. People are like, are you okay? Several people have asked me, what are you doing? Why are you making this whole 3-day bootcamp free? And well, it's one of those things that I really cannot explain as per this is it's just something I know that's how I had to do it. It's one of those things. So for this particular boot camp, it is free. 3 days. And of course, I'm not going to do it like a free thing, yesterday. Yes. I joined one group recently, and because they promised to teach monetization of one platform, and all that free. So I joined. And the session was yesterday, if I'm correct, yesterday. And I don't even know, I'm still trying to think of what I gained from that session. All the person did was to quickly introduce their paid program. So if you really, truly want to learn whatever brought you to that group, you have to pay for the program. Honestly, I didn't bother reading once I saw that this person was not willing to give out any value whatsoever. Was just that was just a way to gather people, and get emails, phone numbers, so that they can keep marketing to you. But I don't do like that, honestly. I really don't understand why you would gather people and then you don't give out any value whatsoever. This 3-day boot camp is going to be value packed. If you are being, kind of thrust into a leadership position that you didn't anticipate, or you did walk into a leadership position, maybe, you applied to be promoted, but you didn't understand fully what all that meant, this boot camp is for you. Or if you believe that you have leadership potentials, you have the ability to lead, but you've not yet been put in that leadership position, this boot camp is for you. It is for you. Please run and register. Don't wait to be told about it. Run and register. It runs from the 12th to the 14th of December. 12th to 14th. The link to register should be showing on this live. If not, I will put it up in the comments later on. Register. And once you have registered, it's a Google form. At the end, when that page that tells you thank you for registering, there is a link to join a WhatsApp group. Please join that. Click on that link and join that WhatsApp group, because it's in that group that every other information will be passed across to you. Okay, I'll try and remember and repeat this at the end of the session today. Kelechi, welcome. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. How are you doing? How is it where you are? Okay, so recap. We started this series by doing just a basic introduction to change management. What is change management? And we said that it's a structured approach to help individuals, to help teams, to help organizations transition from their current state to a desired future state, to help them move from point A to point B, believing that point B is a better state, is desired. Let me not even say better. It should be better, but it is the desired state. That is what change management is all about. It's being able to help you move from where you are to where you want to be. Okay. Um, that was session 83. So session 84, we talked about the different types of change. Because if you're going to manage something and you don't know the different types, the different aspects, how are you going to manage it really? We can't manage what we don't know. We really can't. So the different types of change, we looked at a strategic change, structural change, technological change, and cultural change. Those were the different types of change we looked at in that session. We looked at the types of change, we looked at their implications, and we looked at it both for an organization and personally. What do these things mean for you as an organization? What do they mean for you as an individual? Our next session, session 85, we looked at the change management process. So we now went through the process from planning all the way down to evaluation. How do you, navigate the process? What do you do in order to go through that change? We looked at, of course, planning, putting things in place, the ideation, the vision, all that. We looked at communication. You have to be able to communicate this plan to change, this plan to manage the change. You have to then implement it. It's not enough to plan. It's not enough to communicate it. You must implement it. You have to carry it out. And we looked at evaluating the thing that you have done. So that was what we looked at in the past 3 sessions on change management essentials. And today, like I said, we're going to look at the role of leadership in change management. Usually, there has to be someone that's driving the change management process. Someone has to be in charge. Someone has to be the one inspiring the team, in a team setting. Someone has to be the one creating the environment that makes this change possible and all that. But many a times we misunderstand the role of that person. And that is what I want to look at today. What is that role of that person that is leading through this change? If you are the leader, then you need to understand what your role is. If you are not the one leading the change and you're following someone, you need to know what to expect from that person so that you don't have unmet expectations that will now derail the whole process. That is the idea of understanding the role of leadership in change management. Okay, so we're going to look at some of the key components of leadership. What is expected from one leading a change process? Oh, sorry, my laptop just gave me 1 minute. Okay. Technology, it happens. We move on. So, what are the key components? What are the expectations? What are the things that a leader in a change management process should be able to embody in order for this process to move on smoothly? The first one is vision and direction. Now, this is the ability to see, understand where the direction the process is going, to be able to set clear goals, to be able to set or to provide like a roadmap for achieving this goal, this change that you're embarking on. This is, I think this is, I don't want to say the most important, but it's very, very critical for a leader in a change management process. You must see. You can't lead people where you don't know. Honestly, it's very difficult. Or where you have not seen, let me use that word, not even know. Where you have not seen, you can't lead people to it. I don't even think it's possible. That is why it's very essential for leaders to be visionaries, to see, and when I say see, it means that not just that in your mind's eye you have seen where you're going, in your mind you have experienced that place. It's good if you experience it physically too, perfect. But if you have not experienced it physically, at least experience in your heart, in your mind, you should have experienced that place you're trying to lead people to. That change that you're trying to propagate, that change you're trying to bring about, you should have experienced it. Either experientially, physically, you've been there, or at least in your mind's eye. This is where vision is key. This is where it's essential to see that future that you want. It's essential to see that future that you want. If you have not seen it, I don't know how you're going to lead people there. I don't even know how you're going to lead yourself first there. So remember that, as we're talking about change management, we look at it in a team or in an organizational setup, and we look at it in your personal life. So in an organization, it is expected that whoever is going to lead the change must have seen the change. Must have seen it. Even if you have not experienced it physically, you must have seen it. So it is key. It's key. Vision, sight is key. So that you can actually navigate to that place. When, for example, I want to change careers, let's say, now on a personal level, I want to change careers. That is the change that I want to navigate in the coming year. I have to have seen myself in that new career that I'm trying to navigate to. I must have seen myself there. I need to have understood, either by research, by whatever means, I need to have seen myself there. I need to have understood what it means to be there. Like I said, if not physically, as in I've actually experienced being, okay, what career do I want to change to? Okay, let me use myself. When I transitioned basically from a pure accounting role to more leadership before I finally transitioned to mentoring, I needed to have seen myself. Okay, let me take the transition into mentoring. I needed to have seen myself being someone that encourages people, being someone that points people in the right direction. Now, in my case, I had experienced it physically. I had, but not in the same situation, not in the same area, I had experienced it in the place of work, being a manager, being the head, being the lead in, in an organization of a department and all that. I had experienced being able to, show people the way, but that was like in a closed setting. It's not exactly the same as coming out to mentor people or coming out to coach people. It's not exactly the same, but I had an idea of it. Now, after that, I still had to sit with the whole idea and experience mentoring up here. Up here. Yes. I had to have seen it. I had to have seen where I was going to up here. What happens is that when you have not seen that place you want to get to, when you have not seen the end that you're looking to arrive at, when you have not seen it, the journey becomes more difficult. Yes, that is just the truth. The journey becomes more difficult. It doesn't mean that it's not achievable. It doesn't mean that you will not make it just because you have not seen, but the journey is more difficult because you're figuring it out as you go. What the vision does for you is that even when things do get hard, because they will always get hard, there is no time that you transition from A to B and it's smooth completely. I've not seen. If you have seen, do tell me. But there is always one hiccup or the other on the road. And because you have seen where you're going, you can wake up motivated in the morning. It's that sight, it's that vision that you have, is that what you have seen that will propel you to keep going. This is applicable in just about every aspect of life, honestly. It's not just that you're changing jobs. Any kind of change that you're experiencing, honestly, any kind of season that you are, your ability to see where you are going is key. This is applicable in our physical life, spiritual life, business life, work life, career, whatever. Excuse me. You have to see it. You need to see where you're going. That vision is what keeps you going, is what keeps you aiming for that goal. That vision, what you have seen, that is what keeps you going. When things get difficult, when things don't seem to be working out, when the situation looks dire, that vision will keep you going. 100% of the times, what you have seen. Okay, so vision is essential because as you have seen, you can more, direct as the leader. If you have not seen, you can't direct people. I mean, you don't know we've not been to Aba, for example. For those of us in Port Harcourt, you are trying to get to Aba, you've never been. You can't direct another person how to get to Aba. It's not possible. Yeah, okay, unless you now go and Google. But even when you Google, the tendency is that, there's something Google does not know. But you that have gone to Aba and you're used to the road to Aba would know. So it's essential to have vision. Very important to know and see that place that you're heading to. That direction that you want to go is essential. The next component of leadership in change management is communication. You have the vision. Excellent. You know where you're going. You know that you want to move from point A to point B. You know that, this is what you want to achieve. You've seen that future. It must be communicated, and it should be expected from those that lead that they communicate and that they communicate clearly. I know I've talked about communication several times in other discussions, but communication is important, especially clear, concise communication. We have a tendency to complicate communication, to make ourselves appear more, maybe more knowledgeable, to make ourselves appear more erudite. Please, no. Please, no. Keep your communications clear and concise. All the verbose, plenty grammar, that's the way we express it in Nigeria, plenty grammar is not necessary. It really isn't. I always believe that you need to be able to communicate to people as if you're communicating to a 3-4-year-old. Not that you're talking down on them, but you're explaining things in a way that if they were 3-4 years old, they would understand what you're saying. They would grasp what you're passing across. If your communication has not come to this point, please work on it. This is the best thing you can do for yourself, is to learn how to be able to communicate complex matters, complex principles in a way that 3-4-year-olds will understand what you're saying. If most times when we're not able to do that, a lot gets lost in translation. A lot. We lose a lot in translation when people are struggling to understand what you mean by what you said. They begin to infer. This is where we get all the miscommunication. This is where we get the issues, the errors, and what have you, because you did not communicate clearly and simply. Coach Ify, welcome. I'm glad you joined me this afternoon. Glad to have you. It's always a pleasure to have you on these sessions. So it is essential that the communication is simple, it's concise, it's clear, it's easy to understand. So it is the duty of whoever is leading a change process to communicate to the process to those they are leading. It is your duty, it's not any other person's duty. You must communicate that vision that you have to. Nobody else can really do it. It's one of the activities that is difficult for you to delegate. The vision is yours. You should be the one to communicate it and ensure that you are transparent in your communication. Ensure. I can't overemphasize that, but you must be transparent in sharing information about a change that you're undergoing with some people. Even when you're undergoing a personal change, the process is personal to you. The change is for you. It's not for an organization. You're now the one leading this change process because, well, it's for you. You also have to be able to communicate to those around you clearly, concisely what is happening. If you miss this step, people will misunderstand a lot. They will still misunderstand if they want anyway, but let it not be that they misunderstood because you did not explain clearly. Let it not be that they misunderstood because you did not take the time to be concise. You did not take the time to be transparent with your communication. Let it be that they misunderstood from their own because they were just, they just wanted to misunderstand. So communication is important in managing change. It's important, and it is the responsibility of whoever is leading that change to communicate it properly. That is why we actually need to understand the change we are trying to bring about. That is why you need the vision, you have to have a full grasp. And that is why not only, having a grasp, but possibly, like I said, being there, experiencing that place you're trying to get to. Even if, I said it from the beginning, you don't experience it physically, experience it here first. It becomes easier to communicate when you have been there here. When you have allowed yourself to, or you have immersed yourself, let me just say aloud, when you have immersed yourself in that place you're trying to get to, in that change you're trying to bring about, you can communicate it better. You can communicate it easier. You can communicate it clearer. And you can be transparent with the communication because you understand it. You have been there. You have experienced it. You know it. So communication is important. Share, if, like I said, if it's a personal, you're trying to grow in some aspect of your life personally, you need to be able to communicate it to people around you so that they can actually help you in a way. It's not help you now that they will go on. Some people, of course, not go on the change with you, but at least they understand what is happening with you. For example, you want to undertake a new career, or you are learning a new course, or you are learning a new trade or something. If the people around you do not understand, one, that you're going through this process, two, why you're going through this process, the tendency is for them to misunderstand when maybe they need you and you're not available, or they ask something of you and you're not able to do it, they won't understand because they're not aware of what you are going through. They're not aware of this process that you have embarked upon. So communication is essential. The same way in a corporate setting, a company is trying to be more, let's assume, customer centric in their dealings with their customers, and this has not been properly communicated to the rank and file. It's going to be difficult to get them to follow along. So communication is important in leadership, is expected, not just important, is expected of whoever is leading a change process. Personal, organization, whoever is leading a change process must be able to communicate that process clearly, concisely, transparently, simply to others. Very essential. Communication. The next component that is expected of one leading a change process is trust. Yeah, you must be able to build trust in people, especially if you're like in an organizational or a team setting and you are the one leading a change process. People must be able to trust you. Now, when I say people need to be able to trust you, they have to, I'm looking for words, they have to feel confident in your abilities, in your capabilities, in your intentions. So, if you're leading a team, it could be a team in the office, a team in church, a team in any organization, any place. It doesn't really matter where this team has formed. You have to engender that confidence in those that you lead. It is essential in a change management process for the one leading the change to be trusted. And see, it is the onus is on you to build the trust. It's not on the people you are leading to trust you. It's on you to build trust. You have to encourage them to trust you. You have to convince them that you're a credible person. You have to convince them that you're reliable. You have to convince them to be able to put their trust in you, in your capabilities. You have to convince them of your intentions. This is the expectation of one leading change. You must build trust. Even in leading change in your personal life, now you have to trust yourself. It sounds like, is it not me leading the change? But many of times we don't trust ourselves. This is what causes us many times to stall in trying to achieve a change, in trying to bring about something new in our lives. We stall because we don't even trust ourselves. Ozo Koli, welcome. I'm glad you joined me this afternoon. So, we must build trust in ourselves. And we can do this by, setting realistic goals so that as we achieve them, we gain confidence in ourselves, in our abilities, in the fact that we can do this. Setting, like I said, small goals, ensuring that we are not biting off more than we can chew is a way for us to build trust in ourselves. Like I said, set, those goals, make them more realistic, make them, bite-sized commitments so that as you achieve them, you build trust in yourself. There is no change process that will go far if one, you don't even trust yourself. You don't trust in your capabilities. You don't trust in your intentions, in your abilities. And now taking it to leading a team, if your leader, starting from those that are being led, if your leader has not engendered trust, you are not able to trust them because you have not seen them building that trust. You've not seen them establishing their credibility, establishing the fact that they are reliable, or establishing their intentions. If you doubt their intentions, you can't follow them. You just can't. And then on the side of you that is leading that team, leading that organization, leading that department, whatever it is, you must build trust. The onus is on you. Many a times, what I've seen in like organizations or teams is that we expect those we are leading to trust us, but we're not doing anything to build the trust. We're not actively engendering their trust. We just expect, oh, they will trust me. Why? Why would they? What have you done to engender the trust? Have you shown yourself to be reliable? Have you shown yourself to be consistent? Can they say, in this situation, this is what my leader would do? If they can't say that, they really cannot trust you. They really cannot follow you. So it is the onus is on the person leading any change whatsoever. The onus is on you to build trust, including trust in yourself. You can't lead yourself if you don't trust yourself. You really can't. So set realistic goals and follow through. Set small goals, not just, when we say realistic, I'm beginning to wonder sometimes whether we've lost what realistic means. It sounds somehow, but because when you tell somebody set realistic goals, you still see people setting massive goals that probably are not really, really realizable. And, many a times we use religion to cover it, but no. Set realistic goals. Put them in small, achievable, measurable chunks, because it will build trust in yourself as you achieve them, as you accomplish them, as you tick them off, you tick that box off, oh, I did this. You build trust in yourself. And also, trust those that you are leading will begin to trust because they are seeing you consistently doing one thing or the other, whatever, actions that you're doing. So it is essential to establish credibility, reliability, confidence, build capabilities in yourself and engender it in those that you lead. That is building trust. Okay. My laptop is still doing its own. We'll keep going anyway. So that is that we've talked about 3 things. Yeah. Oh, wow. We've talked about 3 key components, 3 roles of leadership in a change management process. We talked about the vision, having the vision, being able to direct that vision. We talked about communication. And we've talked about building trust. Those are the 3 things that we have talked about. The 4th aspect of this process that we need to look at as the one leading the change process is the ability to manage resistance to change. Because it will happen. It's not if. It will happen. People will always resist a change, including you yourself, resisting the change you want to do or you want to carry out in yourself. It will always come up. Resistance is a given. It's a given. Resistance. It is a given. So you need to be able to address the fears, the concerns, the possible objections that may arise in the process of bringing about change. Note that I said that will arise, because they will. Even um, you yourself, you yourself, you will have fears, you will have concerns, you will have objections to the change you're trying to bring about. So you need to address it from the get-go. And it's once again the responsibility of the one leading the change to manage resistance, because resistance will come. It will come. You just need to know how to manage it. You need to identify, and I believe one of the best ways or most effective ways to manage resistance is to discover the root cause of the resistance. I've seen that, it's so easy to, okay, in a situation, maybe you're leading a team and one team member just is not aligning. The tendency is to just say the person is stubborn, or to just sideline that person because they're just raising too much dust. But the best option is to discover the root cause of that resistance. Why is this person really resisting? Even in a situation where you are the one resisting your own personal change, you're becoming demotivated, you're afraid, there's fear involved. You begin to procrastinate, you begin to doubt yourself. What is the root cause? If you don't know the root cause of the self-doubt, the root cause of the fear, the root cause of the procrastination, the root cause of the lack of motivation, if you don't know the real reason why these things are happening, you truly cannot address them. You truly cannot improve on them. You truly cannot navigate through them. So, to manage resistance to change, we must understand the root cause of the resistance. For example, you're leading, okay, let's say in an organization, let's start with an organizational setting. You're introducing new technology, for example, in the office, and you see that people they're resisting it. They don't want to partake in it. They don't want to embrace the new technology. Why is the question you should ask. And it's not just a why of general, why are they resisting? Oh, they are just lazy. It's probably not that they are lazy. So you need to take time and think through, ask questions. Why are they really resisting this change? Is it that they don't have adequate knowledge of this whole new thing you're bringing about? Then let there be more training if that's what it is. Let there be more teaching, encouraging, mentoring, whatever it takes, coaching, to get them to have the adequate knowledge of this change. See, most times we fear what we don't know. We're afraid of what we do not know. And that is what usually, when you have resistance to a change, most times it's because they don't know. They've not really understood this thing you're trying to introduce. So you must teach, help them to learn, help them to understand. See, communication comes back again. This is why it's essential to be clear and precise and concise, with communication, and not fill it with too much, big grammar, or to be verbose about it. Simple, clear, concise communication helps people to understand where you are, where you are going, what process you intend to take to get to where you are going. And when they understand, they resist less. Then going on a personal level, you're experiencing, you're procrastinating a lot, you're experiencing self-doubt in this new thing you're getting into. Why? Is it fear too? Is it the fear of the unknown? Then immerse yourself in that change. Learn about it, understand what it entails, immerse yourself in it. Okay, let's assume you are afraid of public speaking, and the new direction you want to go in your life includes some level of public speaking, then start small. Don't jump into speaking to in a group of 100 people. Start by speaking to your family members, one or two persons. Have them sit and you deliver a talk to them or something. Start small. Over time, as you do it, you begin to lose that fear. Not only in doing it, but learn about it, study about it. Information most times takes away fear. Most times it is the lack of information that makes us afraid of a lot of things. We really don't know much about it, so we're afraid of it. By the time we immerse ourselves in it, that subject, that topic, that area, whatever it is, by the time we immerse ourselves in it, we begin to understand it and we fear less. So, to manage resistance to change, ask the why. Figure out what are those fears, what are those concerns, what are even the possible objections that might come by reason of carrying out this change. And then address them. Don't just figure them out, excuse me. Address them, actually work them out. Actually work on it. Address those fears, address those concerns. One thing that I saw a lot in my years of working is that we are trying to bring about a change, we're trying to introduce something new, and we keep people in the dark. We don't tell them all they need to know about what we are doing. How do we, I don't even, I've always asked this question, even in those years when I'm working. How do you expect someone to, be gung-ho and be all in when they don't even really understand what is happening, when they don't really know where they are going with you? So, communication, once again, is key. Anticipate the fears, anticipate the concerns, anticipate objections, and get to the root. Get to the root. And now, once you have, found the root causes, work with the people to address them. Don't just, this is something that I've seen in some situations. You have discovered that, okay, this person is afraid because they don't know. And you won't sit with the person and work out a plan for them to know. You on your own come up with a plan, then impose it on the person. I don't know how that is supposed to work, but I've seen it play out in a lot of places. So even as you identify the resistance, the what have you, and you find the root cause of the fear, of the concerns, of the resistance to change, you must work with the person involved to resolve them. If you don't, it generally doesn't work out well. You can't impose change on me, for example. You can't. If you do impose change on me, I will only, follow it up to a point before I become disillusioned. So the process of change has to be worked out collaboratively with the persons involved. Remember that we're looking at the roles of leadership, the things that is expected, or the things that are expected of those that are leading change. And this applies to you on a personal level because you are the one leading the change in your life. You are the one leading it. So you need to understand what is expected. So, okay, now in a personal level, of course, there is no collaboration because it's you, it's you yourself and I. So you need to, as you figure out what is causing the fear, what is causing the demotivation, what is causing the self-doubt, the procrastination, begin to address them. If it's to change your mindset that is needed, adjust your mindset. Look for ways to motivate yourself. I find that setting small targets helps. For example, I have a plan to enroll in school over the next, let's say, 1 year. I want to go back to school for the next 1 year. I find that what helps me, and I know it helps a lot of people also, is to begin to break down that target of 1 year into what do I need to do each day in order to achieve that my goal in 1 year's time. What do I need to do each day? When I have that what I want to do each day, I break it down once again. What do I need to achieve every hour? If I need to do one course of 2 hour, 1 2 hour course, you see, it becomes easier to achieve a 2 hour course by taking 30 minutes. I might not be able to have 2 hours at a stretch to sit and go through a training. I might not. I might not. But let's assume I'm not able to find 2 hours in block. I break it down to 30 minutes opportunities to learn. And 30 minutes is easier to achieve than 2 hours. And I achieved the first 30 minutes. I achieved the second 30 minutes. I'll be ginger to achieve the third and fourth. So breaking down your activities into smaller portions helps build motivation, helps build confidence. One, understand what is this resistance? What is the root cause of it? What is the root cause of the resistance I'm experiencing in my personal life? The resistance to the change I'm seeing in my team. Understand the root cause and then begin to address it. If it's in a team, address it in collaboration with those involved. In your own personal life, address it by working on your mindset and looking for things that motivate you. Like I said, break the task down, for example, into smaller bits. And as you achieve it, you achieve the small tasks, you're motivated to keep going. Okay, so that is managing resistance to change. Time has gone. I didn't realize how much time. It's because of this, my drama with this, my laptop today. So I didn't realize time is going like this. Now, another thing that is expected from a leader in managing change is to inspire the team. You have to be able to motivate others to embrace this change you're trying to bring about. And you don't just motivate them, you model what you want to your team. If you, the leader, is not, what's the word I'm looking for, charged up, you're not optimistic, you don't appear completely committed, sold out to this cause, I don't know how your followers are going to be. So you have to inspire your team. On a personal level, you have to inspire yourself. You have to inspire yourself. And one of the ways you can inspire yourself is to see that future. Going back to vision. See that future. Let it be somewhere here. See that future you're wanting to achieve. One thing that works for like people that want to lose weight is that they put a picture of that size they want to be, like on the fridge or in their room. When they wake up in the morning, they see it. Visualization is powerful. See it. When you see that future, you will be inspired to achieve it. It also works for teams. Let them see what you're trying to do. Let them see where you're trying to get them to. Let them also see you being motivated daily. Let them see you being committed to this task daily. They will follow suit. It is infectious. It is infectious. When you see someone that is very optimistic, always gingered, as we say in Nigeria, and always go, 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 the tendency is for you to go, 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 go with them. It's a natural thing, it's infectious. But if the leader is lethargic and not really, into it, you too, you relax. That is how it works. That is it. So it is, once again, the responsibility of anyone leading any change to be able to inspire others, to get them motivated, to get them charged up, to get them, ready to succeed, to get them celebrating whatever achievement. It is your responsibility. If you are leading a personal change, the onus is on you to inspire yourself. The onus is on you to visualize your success, to celebrate your milestones so that you keep going and don't lose focus and don't get tired. Okay. The next thing that I want to look at is adaptability. When you're leading a change, it needs to be seen and it needs to be evident that you're ready to adapt, not just willing. There has to be a willingness, but there has to be a sense of that you're ready to adapt, you're ready to um, um, pivot at an instant. Because situations change, circumstances change, the conditions change every day, every minute. To engender the commitment to engender the change, to bring about this change you are seeking, you must be adaptable, and you have to encourage a culture of adaptability in your team, in your organization, in your personal life. There has to be that culture of adaptability, being open to change, being open to feedback, being open to learning. This, like there is no plan that's actually set in stone. It doesn't exist. There is no plan that cannot be changed in one way or the other, or that cannot be adapted. It doesn't exist. So it has to be, let's say, inbuilt into the process that changes will happen to this plan. This is our plan. The main vision does not change. The main goal, the destination does not change, but the route with which we get to the destination is allowed to change. Is allowed to change. The mode of getting to the destination is allowed to change and must be seen to be changeable, to be adaptable, even so changeable, must be seen to be adaptable. The mode, the route must be seen to be adaptable. The main destination doesn't change. We are still trying to get to that point B. How we get there is allowed to change based on the situation on ground, based on what we are seeing, based on the things that are happening, based on feedback that we receive, based on the new things we are learning. This has to be built into the process. And the process, I have to fly. I think I don't even know how much I have left because my laptop is kind of seasoned, so I'm not sure if I have any other thing to talk about. But these ones, as I'm remembering, let me take care of these ones, and want to believe that that is all that I wrote down to talk about today. I want to believe so. So, adaptability, fostering and infusing adaptability into our change process is essential. There is always feedback that we can use. There is always something new to learn. Ensure that your process is able to, accommodate those things. Don't have a change process that is rigid and is not adaptable. It must be adaptable to change and to conditions. And finally, yeah, I think I have to stop here. Even if there's any other thing written on this place, I have to stop. In your change process, as the one leading this change, there has to be support. The right tools have to be available, the right training, the right emotional support needed to succeed has to be made available. Because yes, we can have the best vision of where we are going, we can communicate it properly, precisely, distinctly, we can build trust in the people we are leading, including ourselves. We can manage resistance. Addressing all the fears, addressing all the concerns. We can inspire ourselves, inspire our teams, and what view we've, put in a process to receive feedback, to learn, and to adapt. And after doing all that, we don't have the tools necessary. How do we achieve the change? So we must ensure that the tools we need to achieve this change is available. We must ensure that whatever training we may require is available. And then support, emotional support. Many times we forget the aspect of emotional support. We truly do. Recently, there's some things happening around me recently, and somebody called me, and as usual, when people call me this period, oh, how is your husband? He wasn't feeling fine for a while. How is your husband? How is he doing? And once they are finished asking about my husband, that is it. They launch into, maybe there's something that they wanted to ask me. They launch into it, and initially, I didn't really notice it, to be very honest. But one particular person called me, and I realized that they didn't even ask how I was. They didn't. So I stopped them. I said, I'm fine. That was how in the middle of a discussion, I called her name. I said, I'm fine. So like, what is that? I said, Ngozi, I am fine. So like, I know you're fine. I said, no, you don't know that I'm fine. You didn't even ask. You do not know that I'm fine. You didn't ask. So how can you know that I'm fine? So we forget that people need emotional support. We generally don't remember it. So in managing our process, in going through our change, we must build in emotional support. Even as we are ensuring that we have the right tools, we have the right trainings, we must also ensure that emotional support is available. Is available. For you personally, as you're leading yourself through this process of change, yes, equip yourself with the right knowledge, but have a support system, have a support network. Have self-care practices embedded into that system of change so that you will be able to, stand and endure to the very end and ensure that this process of change, this new thing, this new you, that is the project that you're trying to achieve, is properly achieved. All right. I think I have to actually bring it to a close here. I hope I've been able to pass across some information to us. I want to believe that we learned something. I just wanted to check if the laptop is moving, but it's still, I don't know, it's still hooking a little bit. I don't know what's happening to it today. Technology, see, adaptability. If not that, some of these things, I tried to commit some to memory. I tried. I don't know if I did a very good job, but I tried to commit some of it to memory. Maybe I wouldn't have known what to say because the laptop began to freeze at some points. At some point. So Adaptability. Have you seen in action here? So we talked about, Lord, I'm, I don't know, I'm a stickler for, I have to keep trying to see if it's okay now, if it's working. So we talked about today the role of leadership in change management as what expected of the one that is leading change. And we said that this is essential for you as the leader and also for you as the follower. You know what you expect from the person that is leading you in a change process, so that you don't, have expectation gaps, so that you don't expect what they are not supposed to do for you. You don't expect them to do it. Then for you that is leading the process, leading yourself or leading a team, you know what is expected of you, and you put them in place and you ensure that they are there so that your process will be as seamless as possible. All right. Thank you all once again for joining me. It's been a pleasure sharing this hour with you today on Growth Habits with Ngozi. Remember to follow us on all our social media handles, every single one: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're there, Growth Habits with Ngozi. And also follow my personal page, Ngozi Onwocholoba, Ngozi Ka-O on Instagram, Ngozi Onwocholoba on Facebook. Follow me everywhere, honestly. And also remember to share this session, this live broadcast, share the content that we release weekly, share everything, and please register for the Emergent Leadership Bootcamp. You will not regret it. 3 days, 12th to 14th of December, but it's going to be 3 packed days. I'm still, as I'm looking at the, I'm looking at the curriculum I had prepared. It was supposed to be a 7-day boot camp, paid boot camp initially, 7 days. And so I had prepared a curriculum based on that 7 days paid boot camp. But when I got the instruction to reduce it to 3 days and make it free, I've been struggling. I will not lie. I've been struggling to see how to compact all the information into 3 days and then still make it so that it's not too much, for people. When you have information overload, but just know that there is a lot of value packed into this 3 days boot camp. Do not be told about it. You're in leadership. 2, you're just getting into leadership. 3, you are thrust into leadership. You did not plan it. You didn't know this was going to happen, and somehow you find yourself leading, or you just want to, you're not even there yet, but you want to learn about it. This boot camp is for you. Please, the link should have shown when you joined this live session, but I will still put it up in the comments once the session is over. Please go ahead, register, and remember, once you have filled in all your information on the form and click submit, there is a page that shows, that says, thank you for registering and all that. On that page is a link to join a WhatsApp group. It is on that group that every other information concerning the bootcamp will be passed across to us. Ensure that you click that link and join the WhatsApp group. And if for any reason after you filled the form you didn't see that link, feel free to send me a message either here on Facebook or on Instagram, wherever. Feel free to send me a personal message, a direct message, and I will send you the link to join the WhatsApp group. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure sharing this time with you. I do not take it for granted that you take this 1 hour of your time and dedicate it to joining us live, or you watch the replay. Honestly, I still marvel at the number of people. By the time, even when I finish the live and before I finish all the processes, trying to get the video posted on YouTube, when I come back, I'm seeing like 99 views, 100 views. So thank you all so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I do not take for granted that you spend this time with me every Tuesday. So see you again next week, Tuesday, right here on Facebook Live on Growth Habits with Ngozi. Remember to make today and every day count, be valuable, and grow. Have an awesome day. Bye.